Good morning. I think I'm live. It's hard to tell. It gives me a notification when it says I'm live, but then uh, Dave was telling me that sometimes it starts up in mid um, conversation. So I'm not entirely sure when it says I'm live here compared to when you actually see it. So who knows? Good morning, Dora. Thursday, here we are. Um, another warm day, pretty much. Um, so the way my house is sort of this old, drafty place, and um, it it lags a little behind on the weather. So if we've had if we have warm weather for a few days in a row, then it really heats up. Um, so by today, it's pretty warm in the house. But by the same token, it'll stay like this. So then, um, it sort of stays at this ambient temperature, and it's always a little behind. So if it gets very warm outside, it stays cool for a while, but then eventually, when it gets heated up, it takes a while to cool back down. So I don't know. Frequently, the temperature inside the house is completely different from outside the house. So I never really know for sure what to wear until you go outside and see what it's like. Um, so um, today I was reading um, something that I thought was kind of nice. So it was they were talking about what to do, like, when you're trying to sort of do things and change things in your life. Um, which I mean, we all are doing whether we want to or not, right? Whether we think we are or not, things are changing, and our life is passing by day by day. So um, when we can think of it in small chunks like that, like daily um, things, daily activities, it's much more manageable than thinking in like big, you know, um, planning, like I'm going to do, here for a month, I'm going to do this. And then for a month, and this also fits in nicely with this idea that we have of short-term planning, that short-term planning is going to be much more successful overall. And especially um, right now when things are a little iffy about what's going to be coming up in the next few months. So, what they were saying was to think of each day as sort of its own little unit and find one thing each day that you can learn or improve on or makes you think, inspires you in some way. Um, it's a it's kind of the same idea as this kind of practice of gratitude where people every day try to think of one thing to be grateful for, which is another um, good practice. I mean, that's another way to kind of inspire yourself, right? To think of something to be grateful for. But I would expand that to be even something you might have learned or some idea that you came across that you thought was very worthwhile or interesting. Um, and each day we build so that the next day we are even more equipped with information and knowledge and wisdom, right? Um, if we can work at things in this simple way, you will eventually have mastered maybe some very large concepts. Maybe you will have amassed a great deal of information. Um, that's one reason why reading is so great and so important, because if you are reading on a regular basis, you can't help but come across some important information, some bit of knowledge, um, even just, you know, simple things. And if you're not, a big reader, maybe watching movies, watch some movies about things you're interested in, or documentaries. I'm not gonna recommend general TV, because I think a lot of the TV shows that we have are kind of um, they don't really inspire a lot of reflection, or or no or impart knowledge. Sometimes it's just kind of fluff and not that uh, important. But there is a lot of good knowledge to be found out there. If you're reading something or watching something on TV that makes you think, oh, I need to look that up, right? Take a note, look it up. Um, you'll that's then you're on to the type of entertainment that is actually teaching you something. You're learning something possibly of value. Um, what we try to remember is that um, everything's connected, right? Um, there is a long um, line of connection between the things that you come across and the things you may need to know later in life. Um, we often don't see this connection, right? It's too abstract, right? It's too big, and too many. It's a pattern that we can't really follow, um, and we don't have to, right? You don't need to understand what this is all about. You just need to take advantage of the opportunities that are given you. And the way we do that is by being curious, being interested, asking questions, looking things up if we don't know. I've been watching the the Great British Bake Off, which I've never, it's been around for years. I never managed to watch it before, and I'm learning so much. I did not realize how many different types of flour and sugar, and how the names are completely different, and that there's certain items that they have in Britain that we don't even have here. Um, they have a sugar that's mixed with pectin to make jam. It's called jam sugar. How great is that? We don't even have that. Why don't we have that? We should have that. I don't even make jam, but I wish that I had that. So um, you can find interesting information anywhere. And who knows when you might need to know that or want to know that. If you can go through your day, each day, having learned one thing, having felt inspired by one thing, I would count that as a successful day. Remember that these days add up, and soon it's a week full of inspiring and uh, knowledge that we've come across, and then a month, and then 6 months. Um, the days are passing, whether we use them or not. Um, we can feel sad for the opportunities that we don't have, or we can feel blessed for the information and um, inspiration that we are given, and use that to kind of get a step up for the next day and the day after that and the day after that. It's the little steps, the little things that we do each and every day that really change our life. We like to think it's the big decisions that we've made, like, the job that we take, or where we live, or just these big choices. We put so much pressure on ourselves for that. We try so hard to get those things right. But in truth, it's the little things that we do each day that really define who we are and how we live our life. Jobs are certainly different, but they're also very much the same. Um, the same thing with where you live. I mean, with one thing that I've noticed with travel is that most places are very much like every other place. I mean, there are some different things about them, but our lives are basically the same. We're going through the same routines and the same patterns over and over and over. Those are the things that matter. If you want to make a change, that's where you have to start. And thinking in that way can really get you wherever you want to go, one day at a time. All right, let's do some asana, and we will get our way moving a little bit at a time every day. I have these weird pants on again that are like a bathing suit, and they're just strange. I don't know. I'm not sure why I keep wearing them, because every time I wear them they feel I don't think I guess I haven't really decided if I like them or not, and I think if I keep wearing them maybe I'll decide, but the jury's still out on that. I'm not sure. Keep breathing. Sitting up tall. And then chin down toward the chest. Let your head hang down. And then we're moving around. Make a big circle. One way and then the other. And then back to center. Lean forward, move around. One way and the other. Back up to your seat, arms wide. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers, lift the hands, gaze up. And then exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. Lift the shoulders, roll back. And forward. Goalpost arms. Take a deep breath. And then we are turning to the right. Back to center. Take a breath and turn to the left. Back to center. Bring the hands out in front. Walk them out. And then hands behind. Squeeze the shoulders together. Gaze up. And back to your seat. Left hand on right knee, right arm behind. Sit up tall and twist. Switch sides. And back to center. Tabletop. And then back on the heels for child's pose. Moving back up. Tabletop, flip the toes, and we're lifting up to downward dog. Move around a little. And step the feet up. We'll be in a fold for a few breaths. Rising up slowly. Standing tall, breath in and breath out. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back with the right. Drop your knee, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Stepping back, downward dog. Inhale, high plank, and lower. Inhale, lifting up head and chest, and lower. Inhale, lift, and lower. Once more, lifting up, and lower. Making your way back up. Tabletop to downward dog. One more breath in, and then we're going to step the right foot up to the hands. Drop the left knee, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, arms overhead. Back to mountain. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Arms overhead. Hands down to the mat, moving back. Downward dog. Inhale, high plank, and then lower down. Inhale, lift, head and chest, then lower. Inhale, lift, and lower. Once more, lifting up and lower. Moving back up, tabletop to downward dog. One more breath in. Then left foot steps up. Drop the knee, arms overhead. And hands back down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Lift. Arms overhead. Back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to step out to the side. So we're facing side of the mat. Take a deep breath. Lean forward. Hands back to the waist. Engage the strength in the legs to lift you up. Breath in and breath out. Turning. So we're facing the front of the mat. Interlace the fingers. Draw the shoulders back. Deep breath. Fold forward. Rising back up, back foot steps to the front, arms up overhead, and back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Stepping out again to the side, and we're going to fold. Bring hands down wherever you want. Breathe. And then back up. Take a breath. And let's walk the feet in. So we're about shoulder width. Maybe a little wider. Hands together. Take a deep breath. And then bend the knees, lower down. Nice and upright with the body as much as possible. And back up. Release the hands. Turning to face the front with the left leg out. Draw the hands behind. Take a deep breath. Fold forward. And rise. Back foot steps up, arms overhead. Back to mountain. Take a breath. In and out. Let's work on some balance. So we can start with tree, standing on the left foot. So the right comes in, wherever, whatever height you want. Have that knee turned out to the side. Steady with hands together, maybe extending if you feel really solid, but if not, that's okay. Take your time. If you step out, you can always come on back. Do it again. And then let's switch. Standing on the right, finding the good height for This side might be the same, might be a little different. And then set the foot down. Bicycle out the legs. From mountain, lifting up the right knee. Foot is flexed, both legs nice and strong and engaged. Set the foot down, switch. So we're lifting up left leg now. And set it down, bicycle the legs. And let's do our feet exercises. Why not? So we're starting with up on the toes, I guess, right? So just lifting up the heels. So we're on the front part of the feet. If you want to do more, you can lift up higher. So you're really up on the balls of the feet. And breathe. So you can have hands at the waist, or you could bring the arms out if that helps you with your balance. And then set the foot down. We're going to go out onto the outer edges of the feet. So we're lifting that inner part of the foot, balancing on the edges. If you have some extra flexibility in the ankles, if your ankles feel kind of wobbly, be careful with this. Don't go too far. Just lift to the point where you still feel pretty, some stability in there. Right? And then let's lift the outer part of the feet. That's a little harder. Feels a little stranger. Concentrate on pressing the big toe into the mat and then trying to lift that outer area. And bringing the feet apart a little bit can help with this. You'll feel like you have a little more room to do it. And then set the foot down. And let's lift up the front part of the feet. So you might just start with the toes if it feels kind of unstable for you. Or you can lift the whole foot and be on the heels. You might feel like you have to move around a little to keep stable. That's fine. And then set the foot down, bicycle out the legs some. Come on back, top of the mat, arms overhead. Let's lean back a little bit and then fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back, downward dog. Coming forward to high plank. And then lower down. Head turns right, arms by your side. Take a few breaths. Bring your head back to center. And we're going to leave the arms by your side. Just flip the palms so they're resting on the mat. And then we're going to lift up head and chest and the arms and the legs. And breathe. Lower down, head turns to the left. Head back to center. Bring your arms out in front. We're going to come up on the forearms for your Sphinx Pose. So hands are pressing down, tops of the feet resting on the mat. Breathe. We're pulling the shoulders back while we're steadying the gaze forward. And lower down. And set the chin on the hands. Take a few breaths. And then moving up. Tabletop to child's pose. And then tabletop to downward dog. Step the feet up and come on down to a seat. Soles of the feet together. Take a deep breath. Fold forward. Back up. Both legs out in front. Deep breath. And fold. up, bend the knees. Soles of the feet to the mat. We're going to lower down. Take a few breaths here, just getting comfortable. You can extend the legs. Hug the right knee into the chest. Then lowering out to the side. Bring that knee back to center and then draw it across the body, rolling up onto that left hip. And then back. Switch legs. We've got the left leg hugging in now. Lowering out to the side. And then bring across the body, rolling up on that right hip. Back to center. Extend both legs. Bring the feet a little wider on the mat, arms out. 5-pointed star. And then bend the knees. We're going to do a supported bridge. You could do also regular bridge if you wanted. Lifting up. And then just breathe. Oh, it was better in the first place. Sometimes you try moving it around and it was better before. And then lifting up, press back down on the mat, soles of the feet together, knees apart. Breathe. And then let's move right into Shavasana. You can extend the legs. You could stay, where you were, or you can extend the legs. Relax. See what works for you today. Keep breathing slowly. Relaxing down into the mat. Finding peace and calm. So there's an expression that I think of sometimes, and I don't know where I heard it. I probably read it in a book somewhere, but it's the weight of days. Um, and that is very much what we are talking about, right? The weight of your days. So the days pile up as you pass through your life. Um, the weight of that is impressive, it's powerful. If we use those days wisely, if we find that one thing, even just that one thing that improves our life, that improves our knowledge, our outlook, our peace of mind, our spiritual health, whatever it is that we are working on or want to improve, one thing every day, the weight of the days pile up. And before you know it, you'll have achieved whatever that goal was and can move on to the next. So let the weight of days work in your favor, right? So moving a bit now, fingers and toes, hands and feet. Maybe stretching if you feel like it, and then making your way up to a seat. We'll bring hands together. Deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking some time this morning for yoga and for sharing it with me here. I hope you have an excellent Thursday. Namaste. Thank you. We're going to do a little meditation, 5 minutes. So sitting comfortably. I just realized that my meditation thing has the option for ambient sound, which I might do tomorrow, so that sometimes when we do it, it's hard to tell, like if the screen froze or if we're still going. So the sound will maybe help you with that, but I'm not going to fiddle with that today. So, all right. So sitting up comfortably, breathing normally, relaxed, peaceful state of mind. Okay, back to awareness, back to the breath, and we're done. Enjoy your Thursday. Find that one thing today to improve your day, improve your knowledge, improve your outlook, inspire you something, and hold on to it. And I'll be back tomorrow.